Good afternoon, everyone on YouTube that is watching this. It may not be afternoon where you are, but it is afternoon here. So today I thought I would do for you guys a entertaining, hopefully, office goth look. So for me, I like playing with makeup. I like still having that kind of unique expression of my makeup when I'm at the office. I normally would not recommend wearing your hair thusly at the office, just saying. But I want to make this quick, simple, and office goth wearable for anyone watching. So I'm going to get right stuck into this, and we're going to start with a base. Now when I go to the office, I don't tend to wear full base makeup. I tend to focus on areas that need a little bit more, so I have some areas around about my chin and a little bit of blueness, which just always exists on my face under my eyes. So those are the areas that I'm specifically going to focus on, maybe a little bit around my nose as well, because that just, my nose always stays very red. So I am going to be using my Apio Cushion Air Fit. It's super reflective, so that's a bit hard to show. And we're just going to focus on the areas that need it. Now the reason why I do this is because it also requires less concealer. So if this covers everything, then I don't have to use concealer, and that saves me time. The reason that I wear any base makeup at all is to look like I'm awake. Because as you can see, it's already brightened my eye area quite a bit. Now I wear glasses, so technically I don't have to do anything more than this for my eyes. I don't like having to put in a lot of effort when I go to the office because it's early and I'm tired. I do still have this spot which I'd like to conceal a little bit. So I'm going to take my NYX Dark Circle Corrector Concealer and a fluffier brush. So say something like this to conceal that area. And you only need a little bit of concealer to kind of help buff this little fella out a little bit, because it just doesn't need to be so obviously red. And take whatever's left on my fluffy brush concealer wise and just put that a little bit around my eyes. Doesn't necessarily matter very much. And as you can see, I look awake enough, and of course the powder, this foundation is creasing on my eyelids. Because why wouldn't it? I'm going to be using the Peach Cotton Pore Sun Packed by Skin Food to set the areas that crease or are slightly greasy. I'm dry skinned, so I don't get very greasy, but just the slightest bit around my nose. So we're just going to set those areas. And just over the spot to set the concealer. I don't like using a lot of powder because it's completely unnecessary. I just want it to be a little bit more set. So to keep this fast, we're going to hop straight into eyes. And I'm going to be using the NYX Perfect Filter Shadow Palette, and this one is in Gloomy Days. And I'm going to be grabbing this color here on a, let's go with this angled fluffy brush, but it can be any slightly fluffier flat brush. And we're going to put that in the crease, or in my case just above the crease, because I try to create a false crease for my hooded eyes, and just slightly down below. Now with this one you want to be a little bit careful because it is quite pigmented. At least in comparison to the Korean eyeshadows that I use most of the time. and we don't want to have to spend hours upon hours trying to blend this when I'm trying to get this done quickly, because I have like 15 minutes and I really want to be out of the door on time. Now, because I used a slightly fluffier brush, this is already quite blended. If it is not, you just grab a blending brush of some sort, and you can use that to blend it out. Here, we've just created a little bit of a skeletal contour. I like to take a little bit of a shimmer and put it on my lid. Now, I love some of the ones in here because they're a little bit duochrome. So this one and this one are a little bit duochrome. So I'm going to be taking the lighter one of the two, so this one right there, on my finger and putting that on the center of my lid, like so. Just for a bit of entertaining shimmer or color. You can line your eyes with liquid liner, but that takes more time. So usually if I'm doing liquid liner, I'm not doing any eyeshadow at all except a single base color to kind of even out the skin tone of my eyelids. But I do find that pencil liner is quicker than liquid liner because it doesn't take as much concentration. So I'm going to tight line my eyes at the top and then wing it out just a little bit. I'm very bad at this. I don't tight line often. And then I blur it a little bit with my finger. And that's why I love pencil liner instead, because it smooths everything out a little bit. Again, this does take more time than if you were to just leave it unlined. But sometimes it's worth it to take a little bit of the time. So I've got a little bit of a line now. I'm going to take this is personal preference. I enjoy this, and it comes from the Korean beauty movement, and it is this shimmer shadow stick by Caradium something. And it just adds brightness to the inner corners and the under eye area. Then we're going to curl our lashes and do some. I also, if I'm not looking to use my pencil eyeliner, just use eyeshadow. That goes really quickly. Highly recommend doing that instead. And we're going to curl our lashes, which you don't have to do, but I like to do, because my lashes are long and they stick out straight, and then they get in the way of my glasses even if I put on mascara. So if I curl them, they stick up a little bit more, which means it agrees with my mascara a little bit better. Oh, by the way, for reference, I'm not going to work right now. But because otherwise it'd be dark. Because I gotta be up early and it is winter. So we have 0 daylight. A little bit on the bottom lashes, a little bit on the top lashes, just enough to give them that lift. Next step, I don't like leaving the house without my eyebrows done. Well, I can leave the house without my eyebrows done, but if I have any makeup on, I'm going to do my eyebrows as well. Actually, if I have 0 time, concealer, mascara, eyebrows, and some form of lipstick, which is usually just in my purse. So I'm going to brush them through so it evens out the color. This little spot here with just really light hairs, that it looks bald, and I really have to fill that in better every time. Make sure that the front is faded a little bit, because otherwise you get really heavy set brows. And then brow mascara, because my brow hairs are long and they need to stay in place. So camera, you having trouble focusing? See, like, just gonna brush up my hairs to show you. Them some long hairs. But if I trim them any shorter, my brows disappear. Because my brows have very sparse hairs. I don't match my brows to the rest of my hair on days where I have work, because I just don't have the time. If I have time left over after doing this, I do like to contour and blush, just briefly, because that way my face looks a little bit more defined. And I just enjoy it. It's fun. That's the reason I wear makeup to work, is because I enjoy doing makeup. If you don't want to wear makeup to work, don't. It's that simple. So I'm going to be using the NYX blush in Taupe, which is this color, because it's the only contour color that actually works for me. Tiny bit on the brush. There, just a little bit more of a defined face. Nothing too drastic. A little bit of a nose contour. Again, this is because I enjoy it. I enjoy accentuating the shape of my nose. I think I have quite a nice nose. And this is also only if I have time. If I don't have time, it doesn't happen. It's that simple. There. A little bit of a light contour, nothing too crazy. And I'm going to be using the Etude House Blooming Cheek in this beautiful pink with a fluffier brush. Now, usually I like going quite heavy on blush, but it's the office, so let's calm down, shall we? Tiny bit on the nose. There. And again, last but not least, if I have time, I do some highlight. We have a fairly cool toned look, so I'm going to be going for a slightly more cool toned highlight. This is the Too Faced Diamond. And as much as this one makes me nervous, I'm just going to very gently, it's quite pigmented, so I'm going to gently be dipping into it and putting that on my face very carefully. Just on the high points, just to add a little bit of light to them. My cameras are having trouble focusing. Interesting. Finally, lipstick. This is a very cool toned look, so I do want to keep the lipstick on the cool toned side. And I'm going to actually be going with something that some people might say, oof, that's a bit out there, but the rest of my makeup is fairly toned down. And I'm going to be using this MAC lipstick in Diva. You'll see why. Some people might find it a little intense. You can use any red for this look, really, but I like this one. Now, I don't put it all over my lips, but et voila. So I've gone and put my glasses on. I'm not wearing any jewelry at the moment, but normally I would wear a button-down shirt with a simple necklace and some smaller accessories, but I want to get into office style accessories at a later date. I've just pulled my hair into a ponytail, and I am missing a little bit of framing hair around my face. Hang on. There, just a little bit to help not make this quite as harsh. But the idea is to keep the rest as simple as possible because the lip is quite bold. You don't want to freak out anyone at the office, but I do like this look very much. I personally like to blur do like the Korean gradient lip thing. You can do whatever you prefer with your lipstick. I'm going to show you what it looks like with a full-on lip in just a second, but this gives you an idea of what I look like when I go to the office with a appropriate sweater on. Not my it's Sunday and I'm very lazy sweater. Yeah, and now I'm going to show you with the bold lip. I say bold lip, but I mean full lip. There. With the full lip, it's a little bit bolder, but might be also a little bit more societally acceptable. I don't know. You do whatever lip preference you prefer. I think this is a perfectly acceptable office look. I am quite content to wear this to the office. And yeah, I haven't gotten any complaints. For reference, I work in a business casual office, not in a high corporate world office. I'm gonna see what I can pull out of my magic hat bag, out of my bag of tricks for more corporate offices, like much more corporate offices than what I work in as well. But remove the lip and this eye look will be perfectly acceptable in any office, really. As for accessories, like I said, I'm not going to go into that too much right now because then I have to go fetch them and I really don't want to. So I hope you found this informative. I hope this helped you with adding in a little bit of a goth element into your corporate wear when it comes to makeup. Remember that makeup should be fun. You should be doing what you enjoy, but also consider toning it down for specific situations because it may not be as accepted everywhere. You got hired to the job for a reason, but let's not give them cause to think that you might be incompetent. Specifically, I'm going to be doing interview makeup for you guys because that's the important part. Once you've been hired, it doesn't necessarily matter as much as long as you look representative enough. Anyway, I've rambled on about that enough. I hope you have a very lovely day. I hope that you sleep well and that you drink enough water, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.